Alright, let's get right into it. 10 tips to help you stop acting rich and truly build lasting wealth instead. Number 1 tip to help you stop acting rich and truly build wealth. Be extra wary of those who look rich and successful, those who flaunt their success and richness for the world to see. In 2015, Forbes named Elizabeth Holmes the youngest and the wealthiest self-made female billionaire in America on the basis of a $9 billion valuation of her healthcare company, Theranos. 3 years later in 2018, she was arrested on fraud charges, false claims about the accuracy of the company's blood testing technology. And 4 years after that in 2022, Elizabeth Holmes was convicted of defrauding investors and sentenced to 11 years in prison. Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder and CEO of cryptocurrency exchange FTX, was once named the 41st richest American in the Forbes 400. He went around publicly stating how he was pursuing an altruistic career, that he was earning to give. The company went bankrupt in late 2022, and Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested in the Bahamas soon after. Now, I'm not saying that all those who look rich are practicing outright fraud. However, the examples of Elizabeth Holmes and Sam Bankman-Fried does give me a pause now whenever I read an article about an up-and-coming hot new CEO or an investor, especially if there seems to be an effort to be seen and to be recognized. People who go to great lengths to appear a certain way often have alternate agendas. And most often, what we see on surface is not what's really going on under the hood. Number 2 tip to help you stop acting rich and truly build wealth. In the line of being wary of those who look rich and successful, we have to stop comparing, or at least cultivate a habit of minimizing comparison. My 10-year-old son's dream is to one day become a professional soccer player. He wants to be the next current American Cristiano Ronaldo so he can make millions of dollars just like him. Now, given that his dad's greatest athletic achievement was a second-string bench warmer in a junior varsity volleyball team, I do have some doubts about his future in professional sports. So I have to carefully straddle the line between encouraging him to pursue his dreams while instilling within him some level of pragmatism. But let's say he proves me completely wrong and does achieve his dream of becoming a professional soccer player. I'll be so proud even if he's a second-string bench warmer like his old man. However, even if he becomes a professional soccer player, the probability that he will make millions overnight is still a far-fetched dream. The average salary of a professional soccer player is around $70,000. And this is a good amount of money. In many places around the world, a salary of $70,000 can feed a whole family and then some. But let's say my son starts playing the same team as his role model, Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo's latest contract with Al Nassr is estimated to be worth $200 million a year. That's close to $550,000 every 24 hours. He's literally making more money in one day than most professional soccer players does in a year. Becoming a professional soccer player is ridiculously hard, and anyone who gets to that level should be extremely proud. But when you're playing on the same field as someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, you can't help yourself but always feel poor. And what's worse is that you will always want more. The ceiling of social comparison is so high that if we constantly allow ourselves to compare our net worth or our income to other people, we will never hit it. So the only way to win is not to start the comparison game to begin with, to accept the fact that we have enough, even if that seems less than those around us. Number 3 tip to help you stop acting rich and truly build wealth. In the line of the comparison habit, we want to recognize our natural greed for more and develop a habit of managing it. When we've tasted having more, it's interesting how instead of satisfying our desires, it actually leads to wanting more. It's human nature. I remember getting my first car in college. It was a used 1997 Nissan Altima that I bought for $10,000. At the time, I was just excited by the fact that I had a car. I felt rich. I felt like I had it all. No more needing to ask my parents for a ride or bumming a ride from a friend. I could get myself from point A to B like a real adult. However, as time went by, I couldn't help myself but notice how the other cars in the car dorm lot were better than mine. My car that I was so excited about just a few months prior now didn't seem good enough. And this was even more so when I was parked next to my friend's brand new BMW or Audi. I became greedy and I wanted more. I wanted a brand new car, a better car, a fancier car. Our minds are weirdly twisted that way, and actually very dangerous. The taste of having more toys, more money, and more prestige leads to increased desire versus actual satisfaction. Thus, we take more unnecessary risks in order to satisfy this ambition and greed. Just look at the example of Jeff Skilling and Enron. Until greed completely took over, Enron was a healthy company with healthy products. However, Jeff Skilling wanted more. So he placed the livelihood of thousands of people at Enron at risk in order to satisfy his greed. There's nothing wrong with having nice things and enjoying nice things, but only if we can define our enough. Only then can we really enjoy our wealth versus feeling constantly lacking. Number 4 tip to help you stop acting rich and truly build wealth. Curate your social circle. Jim Rohn, the motivational speaker, said famously, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." The people that we spend the most time with not only occupy our time, but also influence our minds and our daily behaviors. So if your social circle is made up of people who are smart with money and are focused on growing their wealth, it is highly likely that you will follow suit. However, if your social circle is made up of people who love to act rich, it is a matter of time before those habits rub off on you. I never thought about needing to upgrade my car, but given all my friends are now driving the latest model Audi, I can't seem to stop thinking about a new Audi. And before I know it, I'm at the Audi car dealer testing out their latest model. I was never into tech gadgets, but given that seems to be what all my friends are constantly talking about, I noticed myself upgrading to the latest iPhone, smartwatch, and computers every year. So if we want to build wealth and success in our lives, we must be very selective of who you allow into our social circle. And even a few bad apples can cost us dearly in the long run. And if you have a hard time finding good social circle, do what I do. Surround yourself with authors, or whom Charlie Munger likes to call the eminent dead. Get timeless books and curate your social circle that way. Here are some of my favorites. Benjamin Franklin on personal development, Dale Carnegie on effective communication, Stephen Covey on management, Jill Collins on investment. I'll have a link to a video where I review some of my most favorite books below. Number 5 tip to help you stop acting rich and truly build wealth. In the line of curating your circle, learn to curate your content diet. We've all heard of the saying, we are what we eat. So if we follow the same line of logic to our information diet, then we become what we consume. We become the information that we feed into our brains. According to the latest media consumption statistics, US consumers spend on average up to 8 hours a day watching digital media. So if we go about our day without curating our content diet, we run the risk of unintentionally filling our minds with who know what. Latest social media gossip, why the latest model Tesla is the best yet, 10 reasons why you need to visit the islands of Greece. So get in the habit of curating your content diet. Be thoughtful about what information you're surrounding yourself with. My best strategy to curate the content around me is to surround myself with quality, timeless books. People don't just read for escape. We read to find new paths for ourselves. We think we're in this one-room house. Books help us realize that we're in a mansion. Reading is a way to fund the lost part of us. Rearrange your desktop, your phone, and your physical environment so you're surrounded by the best content. If you want a simpler way to curate the best content for your information diet, I highly recommend you check out Shortform. Shortform is a platform that produces super high-quality guides to nonfiction books. Books in categories like money and finance, self-improvement, and business. Whether you want to discover new books or want to get deeper insights about some of your favorite books, Shortform is a perfect companion. I especially love how it is so easily accessible via my computer, phone, or tablet. They even have an audio version I can listen to while working out or driving, making it super easy to always be consuming the best informational content to upgrade your life. Join through my special link and get a free trial of unlimited access to Shortform, plus an additional 20% discount on the annual subscription. Alright, with that said, let's get back to the video. Number 6 tip to help you stop acting rich and truly build wealth. Recognize that true wealth, sustainable wealth, is often what we don't see. Wealth is built when we don't buy the expensive 7 Series BMW, or the Armani suit, or dine only at the fine Michelin star restaurants. Only when we have the self-control to limit our purchases and invest that saved money do we have any chance of building real wealth. But this is super hard to do. In our modern capitalistic society, we equate someone's wealth with the image of what we believe is wealth. People's fancy cars and big homes. Our natural intuition, brainwashed by modern media, makes us believe that he or she has a lot of money. Michael Jackson, the king of pop who lived in a multi-million-dollar ranch, was sadly broke and in staggering amount of debt when he died in 2009. After all the money he made and the toys he had, who could have imagined he was broke? How about Nicolas Cage? Why did he take on so many cringe-worthy B-listed roles late in his career? It was because he needed to pay off his debt, about $6 million in total. Not being wise with his earnings, at one point, Nicolas Cage owned 15 homes, ranging from a $25 million waterfront in Newport Beach to a $16 million countryside estate in Rhode Island. On surface, Michael Jackson and Nicolas Cage looked wealthy. But when we unveil the curtain, we see that they weren't wealthy at all. Instead, they were actually worse off than most of us. Don't believe everything you see. Often, true wealth is what we don't see. Number 7 tip to help you stop acting rich and truly build wealth. Invest in assets. Stop buying liabilities. Robert Kiyosaki is famous for writing the best-selling book titled Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The basic premise of the book is that in order to become wealthy, you should spend money on purchasing assets, not liabilities. Assets are anything that grows your net worth. Think investments in the stock market, real estate, or a business. Liabilities are anything that takes money out of your pocket. Think expenses and debt. There are basic expenses that we all have in order to survive. But when too much liabilities prevent us from putting our money into appreciating assets, we aren't getting any wealthier. Robert talks about how his friend's dad, the rich dad, didn't look rich on surface, yet because he didn't spend money on looking rich, rather spent his money on purchasing assets such as real estate and business, he eventually became wealthy. The key driver to building wealth is to be wise in how we deploy our money. Buy assets. Don't buy things to make you look rich. Wealth is built when people choose not to buy the overly expensive home, rather they buy the home they can afford. It is built when people choose not to buy that car to impress people, rather a car to take him from point A to B. And it is built when people choose to watch Financial Tortoise YouTube videos versus Stranger Things on Netflix. Number 8 tip to help you stop acting rich and truly build wealth. Practice patient investing. Benjamin Graham, known as the father of value investing, preached the importance of patience in investing because to him, in the end, how your investment behaves is much less important than how you behave. Investing and patience naturally go hand in hand. Good investing is naturally a long-term endeavor. Many people like to call the short-term money-making schemes also investing, but the more appropriate label is either flipping or trading, or sometimes just straight-out gambling. The benefit of true investing typically comes after many years, not weeks or months. Therefore, patience is a crucial skill that allows investors to endure short-term hardships for future reward. And if you just step back, life works the same way, right? Anything worth its money took years in making, not overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. Apple struggled for decades before hitting the right stride and becoming the largest company in the world. And you can probably identify from your own life examples where real sustainable achievement came from long-term perspective and patience, enduring the day-to-day. So be wary of new and sexy investments that promise to double your money in weeks and months. Like me, invest in boring index funds and let your patience build true wealth. Number 9 tip to help you stop acting rich and truly build wealth. If you're going to spend on buying back time. True life wealth is the ability to do things that you want to do, whenever you want to do it, however you see fit. Money can buy many things, but you get the greatest bang for the buck when you buy back time. Time allows you to have more control over your day, and when you have more control, more satisfaction. This for me is one of the key reasons why I'm such a big proponent of mastering your money, and one of the big reasons why I started this YouTube channel. I experienced firsthand the liberating power that having enough money can provide. Money buys you choice. With enough money, you can take unpaid days off from work, without having to worry that you aren't making enough to make ends meet. If you're on the job search, you can take your time to find the perfect fit instead of accepting the first company that offers you a job. You have time because you have money. You have control, and companies are not used to dealing with such individuals. If you work in an environment that is toxic or you have a terrible boss, you have the option to quit. You don't have to be afraid of your boss. And ultimately, when you have enough, you can enjoy the freedom that having enough can provide and work if you want to, not because you have to. Using your money to buy time and options is the ultimate purchase that not even the most luxurious items can compete with. Imagine being able to wake up every morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. Imagine having full control of your life and not being beholden to a job because you need to. Number 10 tip to help you stop acting rich and truly build wealth. Learn to live a life true to yourself. Essentially, develop the habit of not caring what other people think. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. This was one of the most common statements Bronnie Ware, the author of a book titled The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, heard as she worked in palliative care for many years. It was most people's key regrets as they laid in their deathbed. Too many of us live our lives thinking too much about what other people think. I struggled for too many years trying to please others. My parents, my teacher, my boss, my colleagues. Whereas I should have spent more time looking into myself and asking, what is it that I want? As children, we do need adults to provide us with their views and opinions so we have something to model our lives against. However, as we get older, we must learn to find our own pathway and have the courage to make our own decisions, even when it deviates from what others expect of us or what society expects of us. Don't care what other people think. Life is too short. Thank you guys for watching. In the spirit of not caring what other people think, please check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.